Okay, students, today we are learning about the proper way to measure dry ingredients, specifically flour. Okay, so what is flour used in? So for lab this week, we're going to make specific things like cake, cookies, muffins, and breads, and donuts. And these are just a few things that we need for flour. The technique you should use to reach that yummy, moist, and fluffy texture that we all want in a baked good is called the spoon and level method. But let me first show you the utensils that you need to use to measure that flour properly that can be found at home. Starting from the right, you're going to need a bowl, flour, food scales, dry measuring cup, a butter knife, and a spoon. You won't have food scales at home, but for demoing reasons, we're going to use these. The first step in the spoon and level method is to spoon it, like I'm showing you, one spoonful at a time into the dry measuring cup. Notice how I'm not packing the flour as I go. Once the measuring cup is overflowing with flour, you are ready for your next step, which is going to be leveling it off. To level the cup, grab the flat side of the butter knife and start from the side of the cup closest to you and push the excess off into the flour bin. Then pour it into the bowl. As you can see from my food scale, the amount of flour that we used is 4 5/8 of an ounce. That's how much you should have when you do this demo. If it is no more or less than 2/8 ounces off, that should be fine as well. Now I'm going to show you the wrong way to measure flour. Do not do this while in lab, or I will make you redo it before you're assigned baking good this week in lab. Instead of using the spoon like I did before, I'm going to just scoop my whole measuring cup into the flour bin and push the top of it as I go to make sure that it's packed tight. And as the same as leveling the right way, I'm going to push the excess flour with the wrong side of the butter knife back into the flour bin and pour my 1 cup of flour into my bowl. As you can see, the flour that we have in that bowl would be around 5 ounces and 1/8 of an ounce. This may not seem like a lot more than before, but if you do this for 3 or 4 cups of flour, that might be over a couple ounces of flour more than the recipe calls for. Showing you side by side, you can now visually see what the difference is from the right and the wrong way to measure. I just wanted to show you the fact that I use the same size of bowl and the same measuring cup to measure the flour. It really does matter what measuring method you use. Have you ever made anything like cupcakes or bread that's too crumbly, too dry, too dense even? It's because you added too much flour, and that is why we're learning about the way to properly measure flour so we don't have that. So if you want your baked good, this lab, to be moist and pretty and yummy, make sure to spoon and level your flour. Have fun in lab, guys.